Do you want to make educational videos that get tens of views or tens of thousands of views? I'm going to teach you how to make videos for teaching that keeps people's attention and automatically markets to those people who need to learn from you. To make videos that teach or educate, there's some strategy that you can use that will do a better job. That will help people retain the information and will help you actually get more views on your videos. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is how to start your video, how to engage them right from the beginning. And then we're going to talk about how to keep them engaged. So they don't just watch the first part and leave, but they watch all the way to the end. Then I'll share a strategy of how you can prepare your content so it doesn't take you forever in writing out a long script. It's a much simpler strategy. And then I'm going to share with you what you need to do before you film so that your videos become marketing machines that market for you without having to pay for that traffic. I'm Nick Woodbury. I make hundreds of educational YouTube videos every single month for YouTube. That sounds like a crazy amount of work, doesn't it? Well, I've got a lot of people to help me, but we also do things very, very efficiently. For example, today, I'm actually filming 25 episodes. The strategy you're gonna learn, you do have to follow all the steps, but it's something you can be really efficient with. And because I film hundreds of videos every single month, and I've been doing it for so many years, I really know how to make YouTube videos that teach and pull in more and more students to watch these videos. When you start an episode, you need to do two things. One, you need to tell people what the video is about. So if we do keyword research and we find a title like how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, then you might start out and say, hey, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics. In my example, I've done the first thing. The second thing, you just need to back it up a little bit, give it some credibility or put in a little hook of curiosity. So let me try it again and I'll then follow it with a little hook. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to share how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics. I've been using this remedy for many, many years. It really works and I'm excited to share it with you. So all I did there was just say, hey, I've been using it and it really works. That's my hope of giving it some credibility. Let me give you another example from Nicolene Peck. She's a parenting expert and maybe she would start an episode like this. Welcome back. As we dive into this topic of how to get kids to listen without yelling, I've actually got a 4-step formula. I'm going to teach you all 4 steps, and so that by the end of this episode, you'll know how to do it as well, and you won't have to yell at your kids. So my aim there is first I told you what the video's about, and then I let you know a little bit more detail. Okay, there are 4 steps. I really know what I'm talking about, and that's why you need to watch. That's all you have to do in the intro, just those 2 things. So after the intro, you said what the video's about and why they should watch. Then you typically have a branding piece. It might be 6 or 8 seconds long, and then you dive into your content. But there's a good way to start your content, and we call that content hooks. The best way for me to teach you about content hooks is to demonstrate. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate how not to do it and a way to do it better. Okay, so a friend of mine, Doreen Spackman, she teaches nutrition and she teaches natural remedies. So one of her topics is how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics. For just a moment here, I'm going to pretend that that's my expertise and that I'm making that video. Okay, I'm setting the content hooks. So here's what not to do. As I dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, you're going to need 3 ingredients. You need to grab some fresh garlic, some raw honey, and some cayenne pepper. And you mix all those things together and you take that and it will wipe out your strep throat. Okay, so don't do that. Don't do that. I gave away all my secrets. I basically told everything, all the value, all the secrets, all the golden nuggets of wisdom in this video. I gave them away right within the first couple seconds. So people don't need to watch the rest of the video. And they haven't built a relationship with me. And they haven't really gotten any credibility. They don't really know if this is really valid, if it's legit. Some people might believe me and go into the kitchen and try it out. Other people might think, this sounds too good to be true, and they're off to watch another video. Okay, let me demonstrate a better way to do it. As we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, first, we're going to talk about why not antibiotics. And there's some good reasons why you might want to consider an alternative. Then we're going to talk about the 3 ingredients. You probably have these in your kitchen. We're going to be talking about each one and how they're a natural antiviral and how each one is a natural antibacterial. Then we're actually going to go into the kitchen. We're going to make this. I'm going to talk about dosage, show you how to take it, and then we're going to wrap up this video with a story. My young son, when he was really young, he had a high fever and he had strep throat. We gave him this remedy and he experienced a side effect that you're going to want to know about because you're probably going to experience the side effect as well. Okay, let's dive right in. Do you see what I did there? Hopefully you can see the difference of what I did before versus when I set content hooks. I didn't give away the secrets, but I hinted at what's to come and created curiosity about what's to come and let them know, hey, this is going to be a valuable action-packed video and these are all the things I'm going to cover, so you might as well get comfortable because you're going to want to see this whole episode. Now let's take a step back and talk about how to prepare your content, and it's simpler than you might think. This is the outline that I follow for every one of my episodes. I have a title, an intro, content hooks, the content, and then my call to action. So the video that I'm going to demonstrate this on is how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics. Okay, we've already talked about the intro. Remember, there are two things. What is the video about? And why should I watch? This is only 1 or 2 sentences. Then typically your video will have a branding piece that'll play 6 or 8 seconds, and you come back in to your content. I already demonstrated the content hooks, but let me show you how I would have it written here. Why not antibiotics? Notice that that's only 3 words, but it's enough of a memory jogger that I know what I want to talk about in the starting of the episode. Maybe this is 30 seconds, maybe it's 90 seconds, but that would give me enough of a memory jogger. The next things I've added to my outline are the 3 ingredients of this remedy. If this were my video, I would spend a minute or 2 talking about fresh garlic. Then next in my video, I would spend a minute or 2 talking about raw honey. After that, I'd be talking about cayenne pepper. So remember before, when I gave the content hooks, I didn't give away the secret. I didn't mention garlic or honey or cayenne, okay? So you look at what's coming and you say something that will create curiosity about it. We're going to be talking about why not antibiotics. I think that would create curiosity. There might be some good reasons why you might want to consider an alternative. Then there are 3 ingredients. We're going to talk about each one and how each one is a natural antiviral and a natural antibacterial. Then we're going to go into the kitchen. And then for my last bullet point, I said son story, and that would remind me that I'm going to share the story of my son when he was really young. I do want to decide in advance what is my call to action. So let's say I've got a free nutrition book, okay? So you might say something like this. If you enjoyed this remedy, there's a lot more in my book. If you'd like a free copy of this, you just cover the shipping. Go ahead and click the link below, and it's my gift to you. So that's pretty simple. It didn't take me that long to outline that video, and you go through all 20 of your episodes and you prepare your content that exact same way. All right, I've saved the best thing for last. Okay, everything I've shared before is important to teach well and to make great videos, but do you want your videos to be found? Do you want more than 10 people to see your video? How about thousands or tens of thousands? And yes, what I'm going to show you can even result in millions of views, okay? So take a look at my screen here. This is the Keyword Magic tool. The website I'm on is semrush.com. And I'll just use a quick example. Let's say you want to teach math online, right? You want to make videos on YouTube about math or teaching how to do math. So all I did is I put math in that search bar, and then I'm going to do 2 more things. I'm going to hit this questions button, and then I'm going to turn on a filter and make the word count go up to 8. So when I hit apply there, and now it's finding really specific questions that have the word math in it. Now we might want to change it and see like subtract or multiplication or divide or fractions or algebra. All right, so let's just look down at this list and see if we find any so far. How do you find the mode in math? That would probably be a good episode because I don't know what that is. What can you do with a math degree? All right, what is the definition of mean in math? Okay, there's another one that I know that's in there. I remember that word from my math, but I don't even remember what that is. What does the upside down U mean in math? Okay, so there's a symbol, an upside down U. What does it mean? And you can make a whole episode about that and think. There are 590 people searching for that question every single month. And if you have the answer, I don't know if you're the math expert, but let's say you're the expert on math, you definitely want to make a video and answer that question because you're pulling in these potential math students. Okay, so if I come up here and I type in fractions, look at this top one, how to turn a decimal into a fraction. It's got nearly 15,000 searches every single month. Now, what I would do, and I'll show you right here, let's actually go over to YouTube and see how much competition there is for that phrase. Okay, so in the search bar, I'll paste in that question, how to turn a decimal into a fraction. I'm going to see, I haven't done this search, so instead of turn, this one is how to convert decimals 2 fractions, so that's close. There are a lot of videos that teach the same topic, right? How to convert decimals into fractions is the same as how to turn a decimal into a fraction. But you'll have a little bit of an advantage. If people type in this exact wording and the title of your video is that exact wording, you will actually get clicks on it. As long as you followed all the other steps that I teach in this video and on this channel so that your video has good engagement and you impress the algorithm, you have a chance to compete for that title. So now what about you? What is it that you're wanting to teach online? I challenge you to go and use this tool, the Keyword Magic tool. It does cost. Okay, it costs $100 a month, which is pretty steep, but I recommend subscribing to it, paying for the month, and after a few days, you'll have enough questions that will last you for a year or more, so you can cancel. This isn't a sponsored video. I'm not getting any commissions for recommending this to you. The difference of paying this $100 and using the tool and doing the keyword research before you film is that when you post your videos to YouTube, you automatically have a marketing strategy built into it. Otherwise, you could have Steven Spielberg produce your video, you put it on YouTube, and no one's gonna see it. The only way that people would see it is if you promote it some other way. But if you do this first, this keyword research, this step really will make all the difference. So now it'll be a marketing machine. And guess what? You post it to YouTube today, it'll start getting views. 5 years from now, it'll still be getting views. Hopefully you understand how powerful that is. Now that you understand this strategy and the power of what you can do to teach online, I wanna help you further. I've got a free gift that I wanna give you. It's called my Influencer Almanac. Now this is a resource that I always add to and make better and better. It's got all my tips, all my tools, and of course all my strategies on how to leverage YouTube and how to grow influence and ultimately how to grow revenue in your business. So if you'd like access to that right now, go ahead and click the link below.